In this video, we are going to introduce the basic concept of vectors. So think about any physical quantities and think about attributes of physical quantities. What comes to mind? Right, there are a lot of attributes that come to mind, and let's talk about two of them. One is magnitude, and second is direction. Okay. So you will see various quantities which has magnitude, some quantities will have direction. So let's take some examples. Ten liters of water, right? So this is a quantity. We're talking about the volume of 10 liters of water. 5 kg weight. If you're talking about a weight, we'd measure 5 kg. So both of these quantities have what we call magnitude, right? Or we can measure them, which is 10 liters of water, 5 kg of weight. However, we would not need a sense of direction to define this. We will not say 10 liters of water in north direction or 5 kg of water in south direction, right? So we only can define this quantity just by knowing the magnitude. And such quantities where we need magnitude but no sense of direction are called scalar quantities, or simply scalar. However, there are quantities which cannot be defined just by magnitude. And until unless we know another attribute like direction, we cannot define them. So let's take an example. Travel five kilometers towards north. So what were we talking about? We're talking about displacement, right? Now remember, we cannot just say go 5 kilometers. We would need to say, if you need to reach certain destinations, we would need to say what direction you need to travel. So in this case, we say you need to travel 5 kilometers towards north. So it has a measure and a direction. Let's take another example. There is a mass equals to m at a certain height h. When you drop this mass from a certain height h, it will always travel downwards. It has been pulled by a gravitational force with acceleration 10 meters per second square. Again, this has two sense. One, it is a direction, it will go downwards, and it has a magnitude that's been pulled with the gravitational force of 10 meters per second square. So any quantities which has both sense of magnitude and sense of directions are called vector quantities, or simply vectors. We will dive more into the concepts of vectors and how would you use vectors to do complex computations. But before we go there, it is important to know why we should be learning vectors. Okay? So vectors is not only an important concepts in maths, it has a lot of its application in physics. Think of a problem. You have a ball thrown at an angle and it travels, reach certain height, max height, and then travel a certain distance. Right? So this example has a sense of magnitude, at what speed you will throw the ball at and at what direction you will throw the ball at will define the length and the height this ball would reach. Right? Similarly, you can take of an examples of force. What direction you apply the force will define what this mass will do, whether it will move up, whether it topples with the top. Okay. So once you understand once you understand vectors and how to solve complex maths using vectors, a lot of your physics computations would become very easy. So let's deep dive more into concept of vectors.